Hey, I'm Dr. Terence Espinosa. This video will go over ways to use some specific websites to assist with a word study. I teach a class in biblical interpretation, and one of the things we do in there is do a word study of a specific word in a passage that we're studying all semester. So the broad contours of our word study follow these 4 steps. So the first step is find out what the original Greek word was, and then you want to see where it's used, and then you want to just identify basic information for this. The second step is looking into statistics. So, how often is a word used? Is it used once or is it used many times? Is it distinct to the passage you're studying or is it widely used? Ideally, you want to do a study where you're also aware of how the word was used in the broader Greco Roman Jewish culture of the first century or so, maybe a couple centuries before and after, but broadly first century. So what we're looking for, so we're talking about Koine Greek then, and so there are tools, and we'll go over those as well, and they'll show you how to find out how often a word's used with reference to the New Testament, and then if you have better tools, you can find out the whole rest of the Greco-Roman canon. And then step three is asking you to begin to fill out the range of meaning, the semantic range of this word, or the ways in which a word has been used. And then step four, after doing all this work in this class, we're going to ask you to do some research into some of the commentaries and technical literature to use people with expertise to help guide the work you've been doing so far. And so that's the basic 4 step model. There's more to this larger process, but for now, what I really want to focus on is how to use specific websites. So, one website is the Bible Study or Bible Web App, BibleWebApp.com. I'm using a PC running Windows 11, so that's why it looks like this. And when you open it up, it opens up to John 1:1, it looks like. On the left column, you have English. Let's make that bigger for you. On the left column, you have English. In the middle column, you have the Greek New Testament. This is Tischendorf's Greek New Testament because UBS and Nestle Aland are copyrighted and you have to pay to use them. So he uses a Tischendorf's 8th edition. That's his workaround, and you can always check this against the UBS 5, I guess now, or Nestle Aland 28, or whatever editions are out when you're watching this. But for this website, this is useful because he's been able to cross-index this. And so just in these 2 columns here, English and Greek, you can mouse over an English word and then it'll highlight the Greek word for you. And vice versa. Mouse over the Greek, shows you the English, and that's very useful, very nice. On the right side is going to be some information here, and the sample they give you is, looks like the word truth or love. Truth and love. So let's close, well, let's close that out. So for now, for this example, we're looking at Matthew. So if you're in my class, you're probably not studying this passage. There's maybe one semester every 5 years or so where we'll do that. But here, let's look at Matthew 5, verse 6. And the word we're looking at is righteousness. And righteousness in Greek is dikaiosune. So dikaiosune is the word, and you can see it over on the right side. It has a highlight on it. Righteousness is one way to translate it. How often is it used? And so on this website, you can click right here, find all occurrences, and oh, glorious, look at that. So this is your notes column. So it'll show you, just tell you all the times it's been used in the New Testament. It'll give you the English translation. It'll highlight the word righteousness for you. That's nice. And you could then scroll through and read them all. At the very least, record the verses so you get a sense of how often this word's used. On this particular word, you'll notice that Paul uses it more than anyone. And that's important data. On the very top here, you have this chart which tells you book by book of the New Testament how often the word's used. So that big purple column, that's just Romans. The rest of the purple columns here are all going to be Paul. And so you can see visually Paul uses the word more than others, although Matthew does use it more than the other Gospels. It's not used in some books of the Bible, and you can mouse over and look that way. So that's important information if you're doing an assignment in a class, but also it's useful just in general to get a sense of where and how the word is used. So if I were studying this word and I was reading Mark, well, it's not used, so that's irrelevant. If I were reading Luke, it's used once, and I would take note of that Luke uses it one way. It's not in Mark, so in the Gospel Synoptic Theory, it wasn't because Luke borrowed Mark. That'd be interesting to compare Luke versus Matthew and see how they use this word. That's another study for another time. This is all just showing you information in terms of just data and frequency, and you can go on from there. This looks like it's using Strong's number. So Strong's number is referenced up here. Here's the G for Greek, and then 1343. And this is how websites find this word search function. Strong's is concordance of old, and it's out of copyright and freely usable for many people, I believe. Check with your lawyers first. But Strong's is useful because it's a way to encode a web-based or an app-based Bible to help you index words. So that's what Bible Web App does. It did it with Tischendorf, and that's how you find some information on this word. And then for your study, you can go on from here. So that's one website. This is Bible Web App. It's really quick. I like it. I like all these sites. This started by John Dyer. He built out and it's just really an outstanding. So I've watched it grow over the years, and I really appreciate this work here. Bible Web App there. That's what we're looking at. Another website to use is the Net Bible, and that's netbible.org. This is another, I think, outstanding source. The translation is okay. It's not bad at all. The strength of the Net Bible is its footnotes. And it's just really outstanding because the footnotes will tell you. So if there are places where I disagree with translation, and there are, and that's fine, everyone does this with every translation, the footnotes will tell you why they chose the way they did. And I really appreciate that integrity. They've also determined to make this free online forever, even if it costs them, and that's fantastic. I mean, it's a really good project. Again, the notes are outstanding. So let's look at Matthew 5. Matthew 5, and there's verse 6. Oh, this is the net. And what I want to do, you can go over on the right side. This is your notes page. It opens up to this footnotes, but you should be able to click on the Greek text here. All right, there you are. And once you open the Greek text on the right column, let's make this bigger for you. There you are. Same thing, you mouse over a word on one side and it highlights it on the other side. So here's verse 6 on both sides. And there's righteousness. Again, dikaios sunein. There you are. And that's pretty good. Now this website is continually growing. The pop-up on the bottom tells you the morphology, so what kind of word it is. There's Strong's number again, 1343. Tells you it's dikaios sunein. The root is dikaios sune, and they give you a very basic definition. And that's pretty good. That's pretty good. It's quick. It's useful. It's a nice way to get on into it. So there you go. Let's see if they have any notes. Well, it's hunger. While we're here, I was showing you the footnotes is all. All right, so that is the Net Bible, a very good, quick, useful resource here as well. The lexicon isn't huge, and that's okay, but if you want to get a very quick way at it, this is not a bad site to use at all. Let's go back to my site, bibthea.com/wordstudy. Okay, so those are two websites. There are two more to look at. All right, now let's look at another Bible, the Step Bible. This is an excellent resource. And you know what? It opened up with the settings I had. So let me show you what it looks like normally. Normally you open it up and it opens up, I think, the Genesis. So here you are. So normally it looks like this. Again, Windows 10 on a laptop, or Windows 11, sorry, on a laptop. And it opens up with the panel here of the text of the Bible, and then it has Step Bible FAQ or FAQ. And so look at this, how to do word study, how to find information in original languages, just outstanding resources for you. And they'll tell you how to use the site, and I'll show you some of the things you can do with it. So I can close that out. One thing you can do is you can make your own interlinear. So it opens up to ESV. ESV is really inexpensive to use. They've been very generous with their translation. That's why it's a default for a lot of websites, one of the reasons why. The NIV, this is another really popular translation. They make you pay more, so most sites don't default to that usually. So we want this to see the Greek New Testament. Tyndale House, GNT, it's a good text. It's not Nestle Aland, it's not UBS, but it's good. Here's the SBL, GNT, another good resource, not quite up. Neither one is the top Greek text, but they're very good and they're making a run for scholars to use. So we'll pick them. Let's go Tyndale House, since Tyndale House is people sponsored. This website here, not this video, is not sponsored. Update display order, and there you are. You see they have an interlinear just like this, so the English is first. Oh, and this is this is Genesis, whereas the text in the ancient text is the New Testament only. Here we are. So that's how you pick the Bibles. You pick here the passage you want. And let's look at Matthew 5:6. So blessed are the meek, for they have the earth. Blessed are those who hunger for righteousness. And right there, just right over each other. That's a very nice breakout. The words are the two translations are above each other. There is a way to see a column view, as you saw when we opened it up a second ago. Whichever one works for you, go for it. Now, when you mouse over a word in Greek or in English, there's a pop-up here, which is their lexicon, and you can say click on a word for more information. Well, let's see what happens. Dikaiosune means righteousness. It's a common translation. There's a noun. There's more information if you know Greek. This word occurs about 92 times. That's different than the other websites, and this is because they're looking at, well, here, ESV. It occurs with different frequency in different texts. So in their Greek New Testament, it occurs 92 times in 86 verses. They give you a basic sense of meaning, and then they give you some examples for their definitions, which is really nice. They also have, oh, look at that, LSJ, the Liddell Scott Jones Greek lexicon, a known, well-done lexicon right there for you. They'll tell you related words. So adikeo is the opposite of dikaiosune and dikaios. That's a lot of information right here that they give you for your word analysis. So if you're working on my class on an assignment, you could definitely use this and just cite your source. It's coming from stepbible.org. Let's show you what else you can do. Let's say you wanted to see, say, NIV and NASB and King James. Update the order, right? You can leave it like that, or you can move them around. Look at that, Greek first. Oh, I didn't say save. All right, well, there you are. So you can add more if you would like. You can also, right here, you can also view them rather than stack like on the left side. You can make a side-by-side interlinear. And you can have as many or as few Bibles as you'd like, which is really, really excellent. So that is Step Bible. This is another robust website, and you can do more. And really, you just have to click around and learn. But for the basic sense of finding word frequency, for finding the underlying Greek word, this is another excellent website for you to use if you are doing this sort of thing. Let's see, bibliothéa.com/word study. All right, so there's a fourth website, and this one's wildly popular. It must have done excellent SEO, because when students Google interlinear, this is the one that comes up. It's biblehub.com, and they have an interlinear Bible function here. So let's say Greek interlinear verses, and you can go verse at a time. Let's go to Matthew 5:6. So they stack it as well, and look at that. It's English underneath the Greek, which is nice. They're privileging the Greek order. And you want to see righteousness? There it is, dikaiosune. I clicked on the Greek word, and they show you in the concordance. This is an older concordance, and they tell you information from that. They'll tell you it's the Strong's Greek number 1343, 92 occurrences. And then they break it down, dikaiosune, sune, and sunes, by frequency, and then other related entries. All right, so those are the four websites. They're listed right here on top of bibliothéa.com/word study, Step Bible, Bible Web App, Net Bible, and the Bible Hub Interlinear. I'm sure there are others. In fact, I know there are others online for interlinears, but these, for just my experience, I prefer these four if you're going to jump in and try and begin your word study, because it'll help you right away visualize that the translation you're reading is a translation. While it's very good, you want to work with the Greek text originally. And if you don't know Greek, you can learn the alphabet. It takes an afternoon. And just knowing the alphabet will help you a lot. And if you're going to be in any sort of professional vocational ministry, you really need to know at least the Greek alphabet, because it just helps you, assists you in using these sources. It helps you if you have lexicons that you or your church have for you. It's just a really good habit to be able to read the alphabet, even if you don't know anything else about Greek. That will be useful. So that's it. Those are the 4 sites. Now we'll talk to you all another time. All right. God bless you. Bye.